these guys bailed me out tonight. I've been on our guys to stay off the referees. then it was, the mortal sin. And that's all I'll say about it. But I just want to say that this guy is a tremendous asset to this organization and to me and to our staff. I mean, this is the third time you've taken over and we've won, So they made some great adjustments in the fourth quarter. And, most of the credit goes to this coaching staff and the players. So I'll turn it over to Lloyd.
Thanks, Coach.
Or you have a statement?
What's that?
Do you have a statement?
I do not have a statement. Great win. That's my statement.
Cavs start off the fourth quarter with a 10-0 run, and then you guys, pummel them the rest of the way. What kind of adjustments did you make? What did you see as the big difference from the start to the finish of that frame?
I think we just needed to settle down. Obviously, losing Rick, there was a big emotional outburst from everybody. And the hardest part was it was the end of a run where we played Buddy, Ty, and I think Myles the entire third quarter. So now we're putting in fresh bodies. We lose coach, and we're trying to settle ourselves down. So that was the toughest part. And I think once we did, we put the ball in Bennedict's hand, and he just did what he did. He got to the rim. He got downhill. He got to the free throw line. We just needed to slow the run down, and sometimes you just need one bucket to go in, and Ben was able to do that for us.
What did you think of the way Aaron played for you guys in the fourth and his dunk?
I'm happy for Aaron, and I think Coach has talked about Aaron a bunch of times. Just, he is the ultimate team guy. He plays a role that a lot of guys in the NBA are afraid to play, which is you tell him to play the four and guard a big guy, great. You tell him to guard the elite scorer, great. You tell him to just go stand in the corner, great. He has no problem with any role that we give him. And for him to be a closer tonight in a game where we needed someone to close this game out, big moment. And the guys gave him a lot of love in the locker room, and I think we're all excited for Aaron.
I know Rick was the one who got ejected, but the whole staff, it felt like, jumped up on that play where the travel wasn't called. What did you think in that moment, and what was racing through your head when you realized you had to take
I thought
over?
I'm going to be at home tonight watching SportsCenter because that's got to be the number one play of the night. Just happy for a guy that's been the consummate teammate and the ultimate role player, but to have a big moment is really why you work. And Aaron has put in a lot of work behind the scenes. He gets traded here, and there's a little bitterness being traded for the first time, and here's a guy that just continues to work and grind. So to have a moment like that is really a special time for him.
Just to keep going on him, what impressed you about what he did the second time on Donovan? I talked to him after. He said, I didn't feel like he was physical enough the last game. He said, how did you feel like he adjusted to that?
Yeah, I think he got 2 fouls early in the first quarter, and that always kind of rattles him a little bit. And he managed to escape the entire first half without picking up another foul. So then you can just play freely. He's an aggressive defender. He wants to be into the ball handler. He wants to get in underneath the guy. And I thought he tried to do that. I thought he tried to do that while he was on the floor. It's the only way he knows how to play, and if he can do it without fouling, it's even better. But when you have guys like Donovan and Darius Garland that can shoot 20, 25 times a game, that's the key isn't shutting them down. It's just making them work and making it tough for them every time they touch the basketball. And that's really all we're asking of Aaron and Drew primarily as our top 2 defenders, and knowing that we have a great shot blocker behind us.
What's racing through your mind as Rick's getting ejected, and
I can't get
you got to take
half
over
court fast enough. I mean, he gets the first tech, and you're trying to get up there and get it under control. And he gave us the charge that we needed. Obviously, it was tough to lose him, and it's tough the way we started the fourth quarter. But trying to get up there and not have him get ejected from the game is the first thought, and then the second thought is, go talk to Ron and Mike and Jenny and figure out what we need to do moving forward from an adjustment standpoint and offensive execution standpoint.
And you guys have won 4 of 5. Shooting's certainly going well, but what more? What have you liked about what you've seen from this group in the last 7 days?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, and we've tried to preach it to our guys, they're a very resilient group. I think we're 6-1 on second night of back-to-backs, which shows resiliency. I think whatever we give them from a coaching standpoint, they take it and they try and apply it. And I think that's what happened in the fourth quarter. We go on the 10-0, they go on the 10-0 run. we lose coach, and they show their resiliency, and we got stops. Myles was the rim protector, and our guys just put the pressure on them down on the other end. We were attacking through Ben, we were attacking with Buddy, comes in and hits the three right away. And then after that, everybody just kind of had a piece of it. Aaron, obviously, and Ty as well. But I think it's just a really resilient group. It's a very coachable group. And, in those times where you lose your leader, everybody bands together. And I think we showed that tonight.
Their coach just said that we played Indiana Pacer basketball. They're supposed to be at number one in defense, and yet they tried to get into a kind of a shooting contest with you guys in three-point range. How did you see it playing out with all the long-range shooting, and you guys obviously 19 to 31?
Right. Well, anytime the ball's going in the basket like that, you feel good, and our guys all felt good tonight. Obviously, Buddy, I think, started out 5 for 5 from three and really set the tone. But they're capable of doing that, and that's scary for us. I think Garland came off a 40-point game last time we played these guys. Mitchell had a 40-point game. We know what Karras is capable of doing. And they had 41 of their 68 points at halftime. So, they got going early, and they probably wanted to play that way. And he's trying to get them to play, a physical, grinded out, tough defensive game. But when the ball goes in the basket, it makes you want to play that way. We have to play that way. And Ty is our leader. He's going to set the tone and the pace for us, and he's going to create shot opportunities for a number of guys while we're out there. So when the ball goes in the basket the way it does tonight, we have to play that way.
Rick was telling us he shared a moment with you Tuesday where you're talking about Buddy Hield spinning the ball and shooting during a timeout. He's been making everything, it feels like, these last couple of weeks. Where have you seen him kind of evolve as a shooter and a player these last couple of games?
Buddy?
Yes.
Nothing's changed. If you look at a bad night with Buddy, the next day might have 5 different workouts. He is about as consistent a player as I've seen in terms of his game prep. He works out early, shooting just to see the ball go in the basket. He works out with our interns, playing one-on-one just to fill a defensive present. He gets shots up. He's the first one to run out on the court after we do film just to go touch the basketball, and then he goes over to the practice gym and gets some more shots before the game. So, he's like a baseball player. He has a routine. He has a rhythm. He keeps it. If one night it's not going down, it's hard to see him have 2 bad games shooting the basketball because of the work that he puts in.
Lloyd, can you help us and describe what the locker room was like after the game? What's being said after that?
A lot of laughter. Rick's always preaching composure, and the guys were ready to go back at him tonight about that. But that's the fun of the group, and I think there was a very big celebratory moment for a guy like Aaron in the way he closed the game. But the guys are happy. We know how important a game like this is against a team like Cleveland. We felt we owed them one from last game, so I thought our guys came out with the right mindset, and they were able to celebrate that.
First half, I drove down the middle, and I tried to make a pocket pass to Myles, turned it over, and it told me to dunk it. So, next time I drove to the basket, that was on the top of my mind just to go dunk the basketball.
You had a couple plays, beating a closeout on defense after that to close this game out. Was that kind of a catalyst for you and your energy and your play down the stretch in this game?
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, it's just if I focus on the defensive end first, everything else will follow and happen how it's supposed to happen. And that's just how I find my rhythm in the game.
Cavs started off the fourth quarter on a 10-0 run. You guys were down and then slowly got it back. What did you see that you guys changed or did well down the stretch of this one to close it out?
We just stayed true to ourselves, got a little stagnant offensively. And once we get back to moving the ball and just cheering for each other and just playing team basketball, game opened up for everybody.
I think after the last Cleveland game when Donovan went off for a bunch, I think I asked you and you said you really wanted some of those possessions back and you thought you needed to be a lot more physical. What did you kind of bring into this game? What do you feel like you did different better this time around, especially in the fourth when he's 1 for 6?
Just making him work for it, make sure he has no easy catches, make sure he can't get in his rhythm, and everything that he shoots, he has to shoot over me, and he got no open looks. He got some open looks in the first quarter, but, after that, just trying to do my best to make sure everything was contested so he couldn't find his rhythm too much.
I think I've asked you and Andrew both this, but when you get these kind of star players, how much does one performance sort of impact the next? How much do you learn from sort of each star at that level that you guard?
I mean, everybody's different. You know, it's just doing your due diligence and studying their games, their tendencies, and knowing what they like and trying to do your best to take it away every game. So.
And how have you found an offensive role, with this group? How have you sort of learned when your time is to attack and how you fit next to Tyrese and Buddy and all of those guys? How have you sort of figured out what it is that you need to do?
It's just spacing. And playing off those guys is a great offensive talent guys, so they're going to draw a lot of attention every single night. And whenever they make the right play or they make the opportunities happen for me, just capitalizing on those opportunities and making life easier for them, whether it's screening, cutting, moving, offensive rebound, kick out. It's just, finding little ways to affect the game on that side of the ball.
How hot would you describe Haliburton and Hield tonight, shooting from long range? Is that sick or what?
Oh, man. Yeah. Buddy was 5 for 6. Tyrese 6 for 8. Like, can't ask for much better shooting than that. Like, that's the ball game. They got hot in the third quarter. Buddy was hot the whole game. So, like, they shoot the ball like that, it's going to be tough to beat us at any night,
Aaron, have you seen your teammates' reaction in the game to that dunk, and how are they like in the locker room with you just now?
Yeah. It was fun. It was fun in the locker room. They played it on the screen. It was a good time.
When you just mentioned that question about what you can do on offense, one thing that Rick said was that you just always say I'll do whatever you ask me to do. Basically, is that where does that come from? Is that something you've always had as a player? Is that something you've developed that's become more of your approach, I guess, as you've been in the league and you see kind of where you fit? I mean, I guess sort of where does that approach to the game and to this team come from?
Yeah, it's something I learned once I got to the league and ways to affect the game without the ball in your hands. I think that's something that's very important for me, something that I do very well, and something that I can always do better at. So, and I like to call it the dirty work. Not a lot of guys like to do the dirty work, but somebody has to do it. And when you have someone who enjoys doing the dirty work like me, I think that helps the team win games. So I'm going to continue to do it. I enjoy doing it, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Is this something you had a sense of when you were in Boston, or is that something that you've, I guess, really taken more of taken more of that?
No, it's something that I learned during my time there. Yeah, for sure. That was one of the ways that if I got the opportunity to play, that was something that they asked me to do, just do the dirty work. And so, with that being one of the ways that I was forced to be able to play over there, being over here to expand and do it, on a bigger scale with more opportunity and more responsibility, is just continuing to grow and get better at it.
Was there like kind of a shock, I guess, or an adjustment period that comes when you get to the NBA that it wasn't necessarily the same case for you as a college player when you got to shoot and score a lot? I mean, was that kind of not a welcome to the NBA moment? Was there something, I guess, that happened that told you, okay, this is how it's going to be at this level?
It's just adapting to your surroundings and playing your game. That's it.
Your best games the last 10 days. You're now settled in, I think, to that starting role. How do you feel, I guess, now after 36 games with this team and this group playing together?
Man, it's a lot of fun. Like, it's the most fun I've had playing basketball in a very long time. It's just a great group of guys. I love everybody on this team. We all love each other. We all cheer for each other's success. It's been a super fun year. That's really all I can say. It's been a really fun year. So.
Man, it's just I'm happy for him, man, because he's passed. A couple stretches been great for him. He's getting an opportunity that I think he's deserved. And in the moment, I didn't know how to react. I just, I knew he was capable, but to see it live and in person, I mean, I got to hold him accountable. You got to see it a lot more.
You said you all were encouraging him to dunk more, and then he had a bunch of other successful plays down the stretch to help you guys win this game. What'd you see from him in the fourth quarter as he kind of ignited?
I just saw his confidence rising because even that big play at the end of the stretch where I think he got the and one or he made a tough layup, that's not something I don't think he would have did 2-3 weeks ago. So it's a beautiful thing to see his confidence growing, at this point in the season because him as well as everybody else, we're all gonna need it, with the stretch that we got coming up.
What stood out to you about Buddy Hield shooting these last couple weeks?
Nothing, man. That's just Buddy being Buddy. I think he really the one tonight was crazy off the tip. I've never seen that before, but nah, man, he puts in a lot of work into his shot. So just to see him fall, it's effortless.
Obviously, when you guys played them the first time, you went with a bigger lineup, bigger front court, had Jalen starting, and obviously this time you guys went a little bit smaller. What was all sort of incumbent upon you when you're out there, as the lone big guy for a lot of this when they're starting, Allen and Mobley to, to rebound and basically get things done in there? What did you kind of feel like you had to do, and what do you think you did well, just dealing with those big guys?
Not much changed for me, honestly. I just, I think when you have a two, big front court lineup like that, it's on your guards to really come in and try to fly in and rebound. It's my responsibility to get the first hit, but the guards will come in and usually they get the rebound. I was on the boards tonight myself, and that's how that's to be, game in and game out. So my job doesn't change too much, but it's a little bit more, I guess, effort on the guards' part to get in there and make the play.
Just to go back to Aaron, how have you seen him evolve just as a defender? I mean, he and Andrew obviously keep getting bigger and bigger assignments. And I think this is obviously the second time Aaron's had to deal with Donovan. I mean, how do you see him sort of get better every time he deals with somebody, at that level?
I think the biggest thing is the fouls. I mean, he only had 4 tonight, but that's where he's getting better, I think. And when you draw that the assignment every night of guarding the best player, that's one of the things that can be tough is dealing with that foul trouble. They're going to get ticky-tack fouls here and there, but I think he did a much better job of keeping his composure with that because there's times where he's fouled out or it really gets in his head and he's sitting there sulking at times about it, deservedly so because he plays with so much effort. Until he starts earning more of the respect of the refs, that's going to happen. But I just think he's handling that part of the emotion of the game a lot better.
Obviously, it seems like these last 2 nights were probably the best closes you guys have had. Obviously, had some struggles with that in previous games. What do you think's made you guys better at just putting games way down the stretch in these last 2, and how important can they be for you going forward?
It's a make or miss league. I think we did a much better job of executing, and obviously grinding for stops is big. They got a couple all-stars over there, so they're going to make some big-time plays at times. We got to be okay with that, to slow them down and go out there and get our job done. But I think it's a make or miss league, and we made more than them tonight.
Myles, Aaron just said this is maybe some of the most fun basketball that he's played in a while. He was just in the finals last year. Is that maybe the case for you as well?
Yeah, man, this group is special. I was in a similar situation my third year where we weren't projected to, do too much throughout the season. And even with this group, it's just the way we work. I think that's just a testament to who we have in this locker room and a testament to who the organization brings in here. And when you do the little things right and when you put your effort into the game rewards you. And I'm a big believer in that. And I think that's what this group has done. Everybody comes in on their off day. Everybody, everybody's in the weight room. Everybody's putting their extra shots up at the practice. Those may be little things, but that stuff matters. And when you grow those habits as young players, the sky's the limit. And a lot of these guys deserve the opportunity that they're getting. It's not, it's earned. A lot of stuff just hasn't been handed to them or given to them. I think Rick does a good job of holding everybody accountable too. You're not just going to walk out here and play these minutes. You're going to play hard. And if you don't play hard, you're not going to play. And that's not a problem with this group. And it's easy for someone like myself to rally behind that.
Why do you think things have clicked and molded so quickly into this season?
Some of it might be timing, some of it might be good luck, but I think a lot of it is just kind of what I alluded to earlier. Everybody just wants to work, and I'm gonna keep saying this on Balloon Face. You do the little things, the bigger things take care of themselves, and bigger things in this case is winning games. So when you're built for these moments, and when you have the playmakers that we have on this team, and guys that are selfless, and when we play for each other, it's a beautiful thing to be a part of, a beautiful thing to watch, and I think we're going to continue to grow.
And once Rick was tossed, the other assistants have to step up their responsibilities. What did you see from Lloyd in that group over the final quarter and a half?
Lloyd is always composed. That's one of the great things about him. He's not like a roo-rah rally kind of guy. He's always got something up his sleeve, and he's always kind of getting guys to, stay within the moment, and enjoy the moment. And it's just a testament to the coaching staff, that we put together this year. These guys work tirelessly, honestly. It makes the job a lot easier for us when we know exactly what we need to do and exactly where we need to be. You can try to watch all the film you want, but when you have people out there putting the X's and O's together and putting the time into that, it's a big thing as well. So, I speak to the hard work that the players do, but there's a lot more behind the scenes that goes into it. You have your video guys, you have your advanced scouting, you have a lot of stuff that goes into making an organization work. And I just think that we're headed in the right direction, and we got the right people for the job.
Pretty much, just playing hard. I know when come on the court, I gotta give my 110%. You know, so just pretty much I went on the court, played really hard, and you know, trying to have an impact on the game.
I know this is the only NBA team you know, but this is a really young group, yet your poise as a team seems so much higher than maybe the age might suggest. What do you think leads to that?
Pretty much just you know, like you said, we're a young team, but we have a lot of great players. You know, we have a lot of vets too. You know, who's been around the game, so they can help us. You know, just being in tough situations, but also we're just pretty much just sticking together. You know, we have a good chemistry on and off the court. And I feel like it translates well. You know, when we face adversity.
Cleveland's the best defensive team in the league. You hang 135 tonight. I mean, what allows an offensive night like that against a team so good defensively?
Pretty much, you know, just come into the game with a game plan. You know, I feel like tonight, Buddy, you know, but Buddy had a lot of threes. Tyrese had a lot of threes, and we were able to feed off of that. But pretty much the crowd as well. You know, I'm gonna give credit to the crowd. I feel like they were there the whole game, and they pretty much helped us to close the game.
You guys are not just playing well lately, but wins over Boston, Miami, Atlanta, Cleveland. These are some of the top teams in the conference in the league. What do wins like that, when you're able to string them together, what do they do for this group, do you think?
It's big. You know, it's big. You know, our goal is, you know, to make the playoffs, you know, and have a great season. But, you know, I feel like every game is worth it. We got to take advantage of that, and just pretty much trying to close out games, but also knowing, you know, just trying to take advantage of the situations.
Yeah, it was amazing. You know, it's probably the best dunk I've ever seen in person. So, and a really much needed play at that moment. So,
Man, just a big time play from him, and we watched it in the back. Dudes were excited, and yeah, I'm gonna watch that a bunch tonight for sure.
That's sort of the natural follow-up, and he talked about this too. You know, he made a bunch of big plays down the stretch, the whole team, obviously, for a comeback. Did you feel like that was kind of a catalyst play for you guys to have the energy to close that one out?
for sure, 100%. I mean, Coach talked about it, right? Aaron he's one of our energy guys, man. He plays so hard. It's hard not to appreciate who he is as a basketball player and how hard he plays.
But man, he's just a great teammate as well. Just wants to see everybody succeed. He has no agendas to anything. He's just grateful for the opportunity to be here and play. Obviously, coming from somewhere he didn't get to play a ton. So, man, just having a guy like AA is amazing, and he's just making some really big time plays for us right now.
Rick has said basically he's a guy that he'll literally will do anything you ask him to do, basically whatever role you put him in. What are some ways you've seen that from him? Basically?
Yeah, I mean, he's essentially playing small ball 4 for us right now. He's guarding the best player or the second best player every night. You know, but I mean, he's only how tall is he? 6'6", probably. You know, so you know, he's undersized in matchups like tonight where we play Mobley and Jared Allen, but his energy just kind of really helps him in those situations with his rebounding, offensively and defensively. He just contributes a ton.
How have you seen him just evolve, especially just since he's been starting both offensively and defensively? How have you seen him get better with these assignments, and how have you seen him figure out what his role is with you guys, how to fit in with you and Buddy and everybody else that's taking more of the shots, how to figure out where his, you know, kind of attack options are?
Yeah, when he first got here, I mean, I knew he could shoot the ball. I just knew coming out the draft that they were saying like he was one of the better shooters in our draft. So I knew he could shoot the ball. That wasn't a concern. I didn't know he had this defensively. I didn't know he played this hard with this much energy. And it's so refreshing to be around a guy like that. It's refreshing to be around a teammate like that. Like I said, he has no agendas. He just wants to see everybody succeed. Man, when he gets pulled, you know, and he doesn't want to come out the game, his attitude doesn't change. He's still cheering for guys. He's just an amazing guy to be around.
How much better of a team are you guys defensively because Andrew and Aaron have come so far so fast?
Yeah, it's big for us. I think any team to have some success, they have to be able to defend at the point of attack. Those two guys are really good at it. Obviously, Drew is being his first year in the league. AA, you know, really his first year playing, you know, real big minutes. So those guys being able to contribute has been really big for us, and something that we hope to, you know, keep growing on as time goes on.
What did you think of Rick's ejection and how Lloyd coached you guys down the stretch?
Yeah, I don't remember what happened on the play. I think it was the Donovan threw it off the backboard. I don't really remember. He might have dribbled when he caught it or something like that?
He just hopped and let off.
Yeah. So
I looked dumb doing it.
yeah, I think there obviously was some frustration built up throughout the game. Rick let him hear about it, you know. But I think we just came together as a group and said, you know what, can't think about that right now. Let's just play. You know, we went and finished the third quarter, I think, with the lead. We were up 3 going into the fourth, which was big because at that moment we were up 3. They hit one free throw, 2-point game, and they scored again, tied it up. So it was big for us to, go into the fourth with the lead. And LP just did a really good job keeping us composed. The whole staff did. Ron, Jenny, Mike, Cal, JP, Mo, they did a great job making sure everybody was composed, relaxed through the situation. We just went out there and played basketball.
Rick said you guys were joking with him that he always tells you to stay composed, but he did not in that moment. You also got to watch the Aaron dunk. What were the emotions like in here after that game?
Yeah, I think it's loose, obviously exciting.
I think that's the big thing, though, is we have to stay off the ref so he's able to do that. I mean, obviously he's been in the game for a long time. His reputation is very high amongst refs and just basketball people in general. So you let him talk to the refs, that's on him. We just got to focus on keep hooping, playing basketball, staying focused. I mean, we're a young team, so we just got to be able to respond to however the game's being called. If it's physical and they're calling nothing or they're calling everything, we just got to be able to adapt to how the game's being called and be ready to play.
How much growth did you see just in these last 2 games? We talked a lot about failing to close games just the way that you wanted to. In these last 2, it seems like this is exactly what you were sort of looking for. I mean, how much have you seen in the last 2 games that you can build on in terms of how you put these 2 away?
Yeah, I mean, going into the fourth, we came together as a group and said, man, we were in the same situation a couple weeks ago against
It's the same team, so let's respond the right way. Went down early, had to call a timeout. Second unit did a good job fighting, getting it back, and then we came in and finished it. So we just did a good job. We've just done a good job finishing games. A lot of guys stepping up and making shots when we need them to. But I think after that Knicks game, after those Cleveland games, our coaching staff did a really good job of sitting down with me, discussing what we want, the sets we want to get into to finish games and things like that. And I think I'm growing as a closer and as a guy who understands where he wants to be and where he wants his teammates to be. So it's all part of the growth process.
Without giving too much away, what's the theme there when you talk about they told me more of what I need to do? I guess like what? Without giving away plays or anything like what?
Yeah, I mean just our go-to actions, and just me commanding more. I think you saw a couple times of me kind of getting an ISO, waving guys away, telling guys where to go, because I see that stuff. And then after the game, I'm like, damn, I wish I would have told them to do that. So just doing a better job of being a leader, being a real point guard, telling guys where to go. So I think just it's a lot of film study and just understanding where we're best, where our points per possession are best in different actions and things like that. So just done a really good job of, getting with our staff, and they've done a really good job of helping me.
Buddy's obviously known for his shooting, but on fire recently. Is this the best you've ever seen him shoot?
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it.
He's big on that. Don't jinx it.
But yeah, man, he's just playing free right now. Just having a lot of fun playing the game. So it's exciting to see and just fun to play with, man. It's just how do you not love playing with a guy like that?